Friends, welcome to my workplace at Ranaghat, West Bengal, India. Let us observe this totally unedited surgery. This is a hard cataract, nuclear sclerosis is grade 5. This is the main incision with a 2.8 millimeter steel keratome. The incision is made on the posterior aspect of the limbus. And now I am going to make a side port about 3 clock hours away from the main incision on the left side. You can do the side port first and then the main port. Now I inject an air bubble in the anterior chamber. Beneath this air bubble, I inject trypan blue dye. If you apply the dye underneath an air bubble, the dye is not diluted by aqueous and staining is faster. I wash the excess dye out. This is optional. And now I replace the fluid with Visco. This is 2% hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose. It is a good idea to use soft shell technique where you place chondroitin sulfate and sodium hyaluronate combination, and beneath that you place SPMC or sodium hyaluronate. And this is Capsulorhexis. We must do a reasonably large rhexis. Size of this rhexis is about 5.5 millimeter, and it is little bit oblong. The vertical axis is more than the horizontal axis. And now hydrodissection is done and the nucleus is rotated. Main wound is enlarged to about 3 millimeter to allow leakage of fluid, and this is a measure to prevent wound burn. And to do this, you have to increase the bottle height little more, about 10 centimeter more. And now this is the submarine chop technique that I usually employ in such cases. See the exposed part of the phaco needle, it is about 2 millimeter. The tip is buried in the substance of the nucleus. It goes through the nucleus as a submarine moves underwater, and it is going through the nucleus. And see how quickly we can crack the nucleus. Come to the other side, hold one side and separate the two heminuclei completely. Then one heminucleus is divided, come to the other one. The other heminucleus is divided into 3 pieces because this heminucleus was larger than the other heminucleus. And now we are going to remove the pieces. Ultrasonic energy is set at continuous mode, but it is being used intermittently, and the ultrasound is set at about 90%. Flow rate is 48 ml per minute. Vacuum is 480 millimeter of mercury. The machine is Oatley Cataracts 3 and the microscope is Lumira T from Zeiss. I have no financial interest in the products that I am going to mention. This is just for your information. And now this is removal of the cortex by the handpiece itself. I am not going to recommend this to you. I am doing this at my own risk, and if you plan to do this, you have to take your own risk. And now I am going to place the lens in the capsular bag. This is polishing of the posterior capsule by the irrigating probe only. If you use the aspirating port, even by cap back mode, you can do a capsular rent, posterior capsular tear. The main wound is enlarged to about 3.2 millimeter, and here goes a single piece monofocal lens. The cartridge is wide, B cartridge, that's why the main wound had to be enlarged to about 3.2 millimeter. And this is a hydrophobic acrylic intraocular lens. The lens goes in the capsular bag and it is nicely placed. This is moxifloxacin. The side port is closed by corneal stromal hydration, and a final lavage of the anterior chamber is done with PSS. At this time, a gentle stream of fluid goes to the corneal endothelium. Any visco that sticks to the corneal endothelium is removed. Some cortical fibers were there at 5 o'clock. It is also removed at this time. The antechamber is then nicely formed, and after forming the antechamber nicely, we check the integrity of the wounds with a cotton-tipped Johnson bar. Few drops of moxie is applied over the cornea, and then after checking the intraocular pressure, we conclude the case. Thank you very much for your attention. Hope this video will help you in developing your surgical skills. Be a great surgeon and serve your patients with love, respect, empathy, and great surgical competence.